to the second episode of LOL Lounge. We're here to have a conversation about community building, but with a regional lens, because we are here in beautiful Bali at the sidelines of CoinFest Asia at the Pengu Villa Takeover. I'm very excited about this. Gabby, welcome back.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun being here in Bali.
And Aaron, Cheryl, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I thought, look, before we dive in, it's probably a little bit helpful if you guys would give us a little bit of an intro, maybe, you know, your background, but also how you came to join the Pudgy community. Aaron, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, well, Cheryl got me into the community, so I bought an NFT.
It's all your fault.
Yeah.
It's all her fault.
It's me.
So that NFT behind, that's the NFT that I bought. But you know, after I get to know Luca more, like she gave me a list of past Twitter spaces.
But hang on.
Yeah.
So you just bought an NFT and then you got to know Luca, the CEO of the
Buy
whole
first,
thing.
ask questions later.
Exactly.
You kind of skimmed a little bit there. Like, how do you buy an NFT and then you get to be friends with the CEO? Like, what?
Yeah. I mean, I know of Luca, right, on socials. I actually, fun fact, I actually bought Pudgy at the very beginning before Luca took over. But back then I was just a degenerate. I just like flipped NFT. I wasn't part of the community. I wasn't part of the Discord
Just an
channel.
NFT flipper, yeah?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and when Luca bought over, I actually saw the first episode of Building in Public. They actually released an episode documenting the whole process. I watched it, but I didn't take any action until like Cheryl beginning to host some meetups in Malaysia. So I was like, okay, this is a community, right? For the first time, I felt that way, and I bought the NFT. And you know, fast forward to a time when she gave me a list of 10 Twitter Spaces that Luca did it before. So I listened the first one, then the second one. Halfway, I was like, okay, let me buy more. So that's what that's
Swept the floor.
exactly. It swept the floor. So here I am today. Yeah.
I love that. That's so cool. I mean, so you went from like degen flipper to actual community member and you're super OG. And you're even more OG.
Yeah.
So what's your story?
My story was because I'm from a Web2 background and my family is a property developer. But I have a friend who told me that, hey, this is a very good project. And I listened to Luca. It was during takeover, so that was like a little bit of fun, right? Then he talks about, I'm going to do storybooks, I'm going to sell toys, it's going to be on Walmart. He sold this whole idea, which I totally understand. I was like, okay, this is what I understood. And
But this is before it actually happened?
before it was like Luca was taking over it, so there was a time, that period. Yeah.
Wow, so you really believed.
Yeah, I believed.
Yeah.
But he's a very good talker. Like he can sell Ferrari to a monk. That kind of. So I was like, wow, this guy's very charming. So I got into the project, bought an NFT. So then I start to work on the community level. So me being me, I saw like only few people who came, like 3-4 people who have like a little bit of ice cream, and it's like, I think we can ramp this up. And me, and I was like, okay, let us do like more events. So I took what I learned from my father that I've been working with him for ages, like dealing with people, a sense of belonging, how I talk to people, like heart to heart touch. So I need to get all the people. So I do go-karting, I do wine dining, I do...
It's a lot of your initiative, all of that.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. During that time, a lot of people didn't like it because, you know, most of them are degen, you know,
Yeah.
they wanted alpha. But I felt like alpha comes and go. What happened? There's no more alpha. It would just drop. And I have to
Yeah.
find a way that, you know, people still wants to be in this community to build a home. That's what my mom teaches us to be. So I brought that, what my father taught, what my mother taught, and then throughout the years I've been working, building a company. So I use that. It's a very Web2 kind of way, but it works tremendously well. People stick by it. And Pudgy Malaysia community is the biggest community in whole of Pudgy Penguins and the strongest. So usually community building is like that. And, you know, after alpha or after TGE, it will go down and then, you know, like that. Pudgy Malaysia, the community that I built from scratch, from the first one to how it goes out to Asia, is the only one that goes up and keep going and keep going up. It's the strongest effort. We just did a Malaysian blockchain week about a month or 2-3 weeks ago. The whole week, 7 days, we have 11 events. 11 events.
Wow.
Wig surfing, night market, pickleball, golfing, everything that everyone's taken care of. Pudgy yoga for women, for ladies. They were so anxious and they were so
No guys
jealous.
allowed, so.
No guys allowed.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I use that kind of way to build with Pudgy Philippines too. They, everyone. I felt like everyone like wants to be part of community, be part of family. So that's how I built it. And Luca was like, "Who's this girl?" Foxy from 30 people, I ramped it up to 300 people within 3 months. So they were like, "We are building a team in Asia. Do you want to join?" So I was like, "Yeah." So.
Yeah, that's what I noticed that's very striking working with Cheryl and her community. Because she's right, a lot of groups are there for alpha, what should I buy, what should I sell. And the first time we met the Pudgy, the Pengu Asia team, it was about like very welcoming, very inclusive. And it's all about, what are the things that we can do together, build a community together, have fun doing together. A big part of the YGG community is like that. Of course, ours is centered around playing games together, learning skills together. But we have a very, I'd say, like similar mindset into community building, and that's what really attracted us to the Pengu Asia community.
We are going to dive really deep into that today, but I want to get it out of the way. The big news that has just broken today is that we have Pengu Wonderland in LOL Land. Let's chat about it. Gabby, what is it? What's the game? Where can I find it? What's it all about?
So this story started with the YGG Play Summit last year, which Cheryl and Aaron attended. I was there with Mariel, and we were having a meeting about how YGG can work together with Pudgy, and we were tossing about several ideas. And Mariel was like, "Oh, how about the game?" And the game was under the code name Carnival back then. So how about the Carnival game? And we realized that like we could put Pudgies in there, and that started the first overpass licensing. We just licensed, I think it was just five for that first game, and that kind of changed the destiny of Lowland itself, because we did the overpass licensing. We had the 5 community licensed Pudgies, which led us to launching on Abstract this May, which led us to our launch party with you guys in Malaysia, which did super well. And when that did super well, like we wanted to do something closer together, which brings us to the Pengu Wonderland map. Mm-hmm.
So I love the iconic landmarks in this. So this map is Asia-centric. It's really focused on regional culture, and I've got a list of them all here. We've got China's Tiantan and Shanghai TV Tower, Vietnam's Ben Thanh Market, Taiwan's Taipei 101, Hong Kong's HSBC building and a traditional red junk boat. We've got Malaysia's Petronas Twin Towers, Singapore's Merlion, and a jeepney from the Philippines. I'm actually someone who I think I'm pretty well traveled in terms of Asia, and I haven't hit all of these on my list. So I've got a list now that I have to start ticking off.
We need a photo with Pudgies in each of these landmarks.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. Like, just looking at the map, it's visually stunning. And for me, it just like evokes a lot of just how much I love Asia and why I've chosen to live here. But like for you guys, what feelings or memories do you hope this will spark for players of Pengu Wonderland?
Yeah, so we want people to come in and play the game and feel the community behind it. It's not just a game, it actually represents the community, the landmarks that we have. As we said, it's very Asia-centric, so representing different places, different communities in Asia. We licensed 20 Pudgies this time, 5 big Pudgies and 15 little Pudgies, to have kind of a more inclusive community around it. And so this party today is just the launch of it, and we really want to show the world the awesome things we can do together when communities get together.
What about you guys? Like, seeing that giant list of all these Asian landmarks, like how important is that to you? Especially, I guess, with the launch of Pengu Asia as well.
So we just launched Pengu Asia officially, and also Igloo APAC as well. So this game is our first game that has taken from like Pudgy and built it on Abstract. So in that history, we are the first one, and the first one ever that done Asian map, have Asian penguins and on the Asian map. So we felt like this is very historical. We felt this is very revolutionary. Something that a lot of people would think about. Oh, I want skyscraper from New York. I want to find that things. Yeah. But all this culture that happening in Asia, as what Gabby said, that's a big community behind it. food is our culture. The family is our culture. How we bring this. So every buildings have a story to how it was done by a lot of lower, not high income people.
Yeah.
That that some people from Bangladesh or some people from other countries that come to respective countries, giving the hope that they can earn some money to bring back to their family. So every building out in Asia has fed many children, many families, and able to put Asia as a map. So for me, personally, I felt it's more than just a game. It's bring the unity of Asia.
That sounds like that sounds like YGG, right? That's how you started, right, Gabby?
Of course, the reason for being for YGG is to provide opportunities to people in Web3, and we're just happy to work with a community that shares much of the same values that we have.
Well, yeah, let's talk about Overpass IP because, part of it is that we've got this beautiful map, all the Asian landmarks, but the other part is that the Pudgies that are in the map, the Pudgies and the Lil Pudgies, they're owned by people from the Pengu Asia community, right? Like they're not just any old IP. So how did you actually share that opportunity with the community? Like for someone who's not familiar with Overpass IP and how it works, like how do they even know that they can get involved with a platform like this?
Yeah, I guess the first true utility of Pudgy Penguins since the beginning is really identity, right? So like you will know when people rock the Pudgy PFP at their profile picture, and even though sometimes the Pengu token might drop 50%, they're still not changing it. Yeah. So I think that's how you know the resilience of the community. Yeah. So I guess this Asian map, this is an extension to that identity, right? Like if you look at APAC, Cheryl and I, we've been traveling to most of the country in Asia, building the community from bottom up, right? Essentially, we really spend so much time like selecting grassroots leaders, and people come and go, but we look at people who are willing to contribute voluntarily, and that's how we first started as well. So I think we're in this journey for the last 2 years, finding the mini or the next Cheryl, the next Aaron in different country, and now I think with Lowland, I think this is a great opportunity that we can extend those opportunity at scale, right? So everyone, who are licensed in Overpass, this is a platform that we have. It's overpassip.com, where every time there's an opportunity where a third party want to license our penguin, it will be listed there. Then we will broadcast it, we will amplify it, we'll get the community to spread the word around. And usually there's a deadline, maybe like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So I believe we end up got a lot of submission, right?
Yeah, a lot.
You guys pick 20.
Really? Yeah, a few hundred submissions.
Really?
We couldn't.
No. 1,500.
Yeah, so 1,500.
Yeah.
We couldn't fit 1,500 Pudgies in one map, so we had to
that would
settle
be a big
for
map.
1% of that,
Yes.
which is 50. Just 15 little Pudgies and 5 big Pudgies.
Yeah, and we work closely with them, right? Because I think Cheryl and I, we know most of this penguin by.
I think we
name.
know all.
Yeah.
We know all.
That's so cool.
So we're like, hey, this is a super active builder in Asia. You guys should consider them. So I think, it's a very collaborative effort behind the scene, and now it's out. We hope to continue that to make sure that everyone feel that they have skin in the game. And even it's not. I don't think it's about money. It's really about
the combined voice of the community.
Yeah, and people just feel super proud that their penguin now is in the mass market kind of product. And hope that we can do more of that.
To talk to the mother and fathers, mine is in the games, So one of them is Elizabeth. So
Which one?
Elizabeth, the one that's holding a star.
Oh, this one over here, that's Elizabeth. Okay, with the igloo hat.
Yeah, with the igloo hat. So she and her mother, she has this NFT. It's like her mother has an NFT and she has one. And we purposely put her in. And another one that's like the mother. So the mother and the daughter like get the moments of like, oh, we are playing games together. Yeah, they have like toys like together. So we do things like that.
I just want to touch on that though, because this is really interesting, right? As you said, it was always about identity from the beginning. But I think that was like kind of a dominant Web3 narrative, which hasn't necessarily played out for other projects. We'll get to that later. But with Overpass IP, Lowland is going through a very Web3 native system to license this IP and use it in the game. That also costs money. Like you could do the shortcut and kind of take that IP for free. Obviously, you're not going to do that. But what message do you hope to send to the industry by doing it the right way and making sure that the holders are recognized and rewarded for their contribution to the community?
Yeah, so using a platform like Overpass, being able to pay community members for essentially what is their Web3 identity, putting them in a Web3 native product that people are enjoying, it just reinforces the fact that, like, number one, community matters, their identity matters. So the sum of all of that is much more valuable than the individual parts. So when I look at the Pengu Wonderland map, it's not just a map of Asia with some pudgies in it. It's actually like the heart of the community in there. The fact that they're actually paid to represent that, the fact that you can do like smart contract reinforcement to split with the owners of the map. I think that's just a beautiful story that's much more than like the sum of its parts.
And likewise, when you even see the characters in the map, you're like, I know who that is. Yeah. So what about, just on that, I'm interested to know, there's a right way to go about this and a wrong way to go about it. Is there any way to enforce the holders' rights in terms of this IP if people go about it the wrong way?
Obviously, I think there's a guiding principle internally in Pudgy that, we just hope that the true holders are the one that license the penguin, right? If you're a building and you're a penguin builder, feel free to use the IP and build something beautiful. I think what we don't want is that some big corporation come in, they obviously we want them to work with the blue penguin, which is the official mascot of the Pudgy Penguin. But some people say I don't want to work officially. Maybe I just get something on the floor penguin and make it big, and refuse to pay royalty back to us.
Yeah.
I think this is really case by case basis. That is something that we would not tolerate. Obviously we have a legal department as well. They're able to take those action when it comes. But generally, we are happy if people like Gabby, who's a penguin by the way, he rocked the Pudgy PFB, building something cool. We are fully supportive in initiative like that. And I hope that this could be the start of more people using Overpass or and license more penguins. And I really like the way you put it, like collectively, harvest the collective power of the community, the huddle member as well. So I think we should do more of that.
Yeah, fun fact, I only got to talk to Luca, I think it was early last year. And after our first call, I bought a pudgy immediately.
Nice. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Told you.
What was it about that conversation that made you convert so fast?
I just really bought into the vision. We didn't even have anything specific to work on together yet. Just bought into the vision.
It's like you said, can sell a Ferrari to a monk, right?
No, I think
He's the one who touched you. Like,
I think we are the face of crypto, right? I think this is the vision, is that if Pudgy Penguins succeed, everyone in the industry succeed, right? Because I think the industry lack one specific thing that can bring in the masses, right? Like you cannot forever talk about finance and
a lot of people are
and
talking
trading.
about like money, and not everyone wants to talk about money, but you see people like just sharing the GIFs, like a lot of the Instagram posts, which are hilarious, by the way, and people who know nothing about NFTs love the Pudgy brand.
Yeah, and fun fact, we are at almost 1 billion views on average per day. That's like 30 billion a month. So that's the number that we're talking about right now.
The power of kawaii.
Kawaii,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about community building, shall we? Because you mentioned before about the launch of Igloo APAC and Pengu Asia as well. So you've got this banner now. And I know that you've got communities all over Asia, so does YGG. They're incredibly diverse. Can you talk to me a little bit about, well, I'm interested to know how they're different. Like, why do you even need these hyper-localized communities? Like, why can't you just have one banner and everyone just fits to that? And then secondly, how did they actually form? Like, so this is a B2B podcast. We expect that a lot of builders are going to be watching, and they're thinking like, wow, you guys have an incredibly diverse and robust community. I want to do that too.
I think I'll set the stage and I'll pass to Cheryl to elaborate. I think the elephant in the room is that, we started as an NFT project, meaning people actually pay money to mint the NFT, and that is like their secondary value. to it, right? So financial incentives to me is one of the core pillar in this, because people need to gravitate towards something to align financially. And I always say that NFT project is the best way to bootstrap loyalty, because it's not really an instrument that you can get scale, because there's only a fixed supply, right? We only have 8,888 big Pudgy, we have 22,222 little Pudgy. You can't dominate the world with that kind of fixed supply. That's scarcity. But it's really good when you want to gather a group of super loyalists, people who believe in the vision and they are there since the beginning, and NFT is that proof. So I think that's how we first started. Obviously, when we dropped the Penguin token, suddenly today we probably have 1 million on-chain holders right now in Solana.
It's a way for other people to get involved too, and feel part of the community.
Exactly.
Like they really have skin in the game. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So again, the token gives another layer of financial alignment to more people.
Yeah.
So now we are more scalable. But obviously, when you want to communicate stuff to all these people, not everyone stay in the US, right? A lot of them stay in Korea, in Vietnam, in Japan, in Malaysia, where they don't English.
Yeah.
English is not their first language, right? English is not their first language. So obviously, I think it's very natural to have a need for Igloo APAC, that we have to localize initiative and program and language and channels to all these places, so that we can continue nurturing those relationships.
And maybe that's something top of mind in Asia, because you recognize that in the US, you just don't have the same problem. So you could hyper-localize to every state in the US, but if you're going to hyper-localize to every country in the region of Southeast Asia, for example, it's a little bit harder, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So maybe Sherry can talk more about, how do we organize this locally? Like how do we groom leaders or select leaders and stuff like that?
Yeah, I would love to hear from Gabby too, like YGG, how they do it, because you guys are like OG like back then and very diverse. But for Pudgy, because we have NFT, we already have like people in every country. It's just we have to find who is the one like contribute a lot, like especially like Jillian, right? She has been contributing even though as a Pudgy holder before she became a president.
So just to clarify, so that's Jillian Pua. She's the president of Pudgy in the Philippines.
Yes.
Yep.
And then Chini is the vice president.
Yep.
So these two girls, wow,
I think she's just
crazy.
behind you there with the mix.
She's so sweet. So they have been like driver of the country. So we have to give a lot of like encourage more of Jillian's come out. Jillian's more face fun thing, but a lot of people Asians they don't. So we have to like
because it's that's super interesting because it's a collective culture, right? Like rather than individualistic like in the West. Yeah. So how did you identify leaders like that and help them rise to the top?
One is they need to contribute. Like you would see, like they would come for a lot of events. They would want. Sometimes they come back to us and say, "Oh, I think we should do this for Japan or for Philippines or for what." So you kind of know when person is like, "I care about them. I want to grow," but no one would say, "Oh, I can grow for you. How much you gonna pay me?" Like no one does that. So that for me or for us is a red flag, right? So and how we can do like I talk more on like how big's your family, what speaks to you. Like we talk a lot about that, get to know that person, and she wants to do more than just being an NFT holder. She wants to make something contribution towards her own country or even to Pudgy. So with all these elements, I was like, oh, this is the right one. And we support them in every way. So we have festival, we do Jiffy for them. They have something that's come out, we support them being by on Twitter or sending toys or any resources that we have. So they felt like we are being heard, we're empowered. Compared to other projects, they might not have a dedicated team in Asia that look after every country or key markets. So back to the builders who are listening to hear that who wants to build in Asia, one thing that we can't say that is countries per se, we have to say key markets. So, so like Hong Kong, China, and Taiwan. So be really careful on that. They are like the markets. So if anyone's building, just make sure that using that and to be very respectful to every country and be very hyper politically sensitive.
That's
to
a lot of sensitivities per particular market, right?
We're like actual presidents.
And we're like, okay, be careful with certain words.
That's super interesting because I guess I work in communications, and I think from a communications perspective, that's very much protecting your leaders as well, to allow them to kind of rise up, but not unintentionally step into a politically charged situation. Yeah.
And so we're doing IP, so a lot of drawing work. Where do you want to put the flag? So flag is an issue too. So be careful with the flag. Be very sensitive.
Wow.
And when you put the map, like who you gonna like put, because Taiwan, China, Hong Kong is kind of like near to each other. So you have to put like, you can't put the ranking. Never, never, ever do that. You can't say, oh, you can't, even though you have to put everyone on the same line. And who and who and who and who on the left and right, and who's gonna be the middle, right?
Did you already know this, or did you have to learn it the hard way?
I learned I learned this long time ago because
Like before, from in a previous life.
No, I think both of us are Malaysian. In Malaysia, we have 3 major races: the Malay, Chinese, and Indian. So in a way, we are ingrained since young.
You already know.
This is like second nature to us. Yeah, but yeah, I want to expand to what she said. Right, I think initially I set the floor saying that there's financial incentive for sure. But I guess when we I'll not say appoint leader, the leader come out naturally, but usually it's because of social incentive. It's rarely because of financial incentive. We don't pay them. They don't come out and say, hey, Cheryl, Aaron, can I get $2,000 a month so I can become the president of Pudgy Philippines? They don't say stuff like that. So what happened is that usually they are incentivized socially. Yes, maybe they want that title, they want that influence, they want to have the freedom to organize meetups at their local city so that they can gather, they can bring people together. So, the way we do that is we always encourage common interests. So we don't really, as of now, we are not focusing that much on trader community. It's mostly pickleball, right? Eating together, paddle, golfing, So, yes, we all work in crypto 24/7, but we still need to, let off some steam and stuff like that. So it's a lifestyle, right? So there's a lot of lifestyle meetups, all these local leaders help us to organize, and that brings people together. And I think that's the funnel that we have been built so far. So it's a bit more resilient and sustainable because, like what she said in the beginning, is not an alpha community. We are not
Beyond the alpha.
beyond the alpha. Exactly.
Yeah, for us, it's playing games, a little bit on esports, a lot of like content creators, teaching people these skills. So yeah, very, very similar.
I want to hear more from you though, Gabby, because like we've talked about this a lot, but YGG was very Filipino from the beginning, but it represented this global movement and it very quickly spread. What do you think was the key to taking something that was so quintessentially Pinoy and taking it to the rest of the world? Like what stayed the same and what needed to change?
Yeah, so YGG really grew out of the pandemic. And of course, our root comes from gaming guilds, these communities that start in the Philippines and then throughout Southeast Asia and then the rest of the world. One of the keys to our success was that we never really tried to replace the identity of the guilds that we work with. So like we didn't erase the local guild's identity and said like you are now YGG Cebu or Iloilo or Davao. So we work with the existing gaming guilds and now they can affiliate with YGG, which means that we can give them support, we can give them access to games, we can give them access to play the games, we can give them training, we can spotlight them in media, we support them with our on-chain guilds. So YGG was originally known as the Guild of Guilds, and that's because we actually created a layer on top of their individual identities, but they could still proudly call themselves by their individual names, their individual communities.
I love that. All right, so we've talked a lot about nuance of Asian communities, and obviously you guys know this inside out, like the back of your hand, it's your home. But a lot of growth could come from inviting other parts of the world. And I think there's a lot of Western builders who would love to target Asia.
Gabby and us have a common friend who always told us this, that most of the world looks like Philippines rather than the US.
Oh yeah, have you heard about Filipino product market fit?
Exactly. Right. So I think that sticks to my mind all the time. I was like, actually it's true. I think most of the world looks more like the Philippines, like the Malaysia rather than the US. So I guess there's a lot of insights, there's a lot of secrets that you can tap into it. But GTM Asia, I don't know. I think it depends on what you're selling, right? What you are building. I think for Pudgy specifically, Asia is the home for cute IP. like cute characters.
Zipper.
Yeah, we have we have Hello Kitty. We have I don't know Pop Mart these days, Labubu. So I guess it's very natural for us to be in Asia and to really start from here. We truly believe that one day Asia as the Igloo APAC team able to lead the West as well, right? Not because we are better, it's because we are in this market where consumer really relates to stuff like that more. And yeah, we're looking forward to really work with more partners to bring different levels of kawaii in different formats possible and at scale. I think that is really the challenge here. But again, we have 1 billion views per day right now. The top of the funnel has been built. Right now is really building the mid and the lower tier of the funnel. And I think with Gabby's help with YGG, we are showing them the playbook in the Web3 side. And Cheryl and I, we're also working so hard on the Web2 playbook as well.
Yeah, there's always been this misconception that, for example, your players in Southeast Asia, they're just there to play games to extract. They don't pay money. We've seen this to be very untrue with our game. Actually, you just came from Vietnam, where some of the best abstract players, the platinum players, were there from Vietnam, right? Yeah, and some of our biggest whales who have spent thousands of dollars in the game are from Vietnam, are from the Philippines. So I think it's taking time to know what these markets like, what they're willing to pay for, and not blanketing like Southeast Asia as like community of people who don't pay. Like that's very unnuanced, and if that's how you think, that's what you're gonna get.
Well, one of the philosophies of early YGG that I always loved was that, you may not have the money to invest up front, but you do have time and energy and effort that you could contribute to a community. And I think that's what you were talking about too, in terms of like, it's not like people don't want to build value and build wealth, but maybe they have different types of things to contribute. Like, do you think that's true of this particular region compared to the way that people get involved with NFT projects, say in the West?
Well, honestly, this is the promise of crypto, right? Like, crypto is the only industry that you can tokenize your time, your effort.
That's right.
I don't see any other industry outside of Web3 that are able to do that. Obviously, I would say, emerging markets, right, are more motivated to do stuff like that because their first choice is not capital, right? Their first choice maybe their time, their skills, their effort, right?
That's right.
So I guess, this is really the story of crypto that we should I really like YGG's philosophy, even at the first cycle, because you help so many emerging markets people to make a living. I remember reading all the stories in the headline. Honestly, it's a dream come true for me to even partner with him this cycle. Yeah. So, I think, this is really something that's very tied into the Asian identity. Like, we definitely have a lot of emerging markets here. And this is the great equalizer.
That's right.
Right, crypto is a great equalizer. I think with this crypto rail is borderless, right? Everyone in Vietnam or in US can use Pengu or Bitcoin or Ethereum. I think people like us have to, if we focus on Vietnam or Japan or Korea, the society there would greatly improve, I think, in my opinion, right? So I think if we give them the first access to all these things, I think we're gonna equalize a bit of the community here.
This dovetails really beautifully to my next question, because a lot of the conversation we've had today is about the Asian region and having this really grounded sense of place, physical geography. But we supposedly are underpinned by this borderless technology. How do you reconcile those two ideas? Like, beside the obvious, how do they actually interact when you're thinking about community strategy?
Yeah, for me, just being able to bring many different groups together, like one of the places where blockchain really shines, of course, is the borderless transfer of assets. So I can be working with someone in the Philippines, in Nigeria, in London. I can send them USDC. I can send them an NFT. I can send them YGG tokens. And it allows people to align incentives and work together very easily, even across like different borders, different cultures. So that's something that we've been able to do in the past few years.
And maybe even have the ability to transfer that value or even sell that value if you wanted to, based on something that you'd created locally, which maybe you couldn't do before because you were restricted by
A
geographical
lot
boundaries.
of
Yeah.
artists that have created their artwork then sold it to an NFT collector from the US or another part of the world, right? It's really beautiful that we're just easily able to do that.
That is super apparent in Malaysia as well. Like Malaysia is a small country by comparison. We are like 32 million in population, and out of the 32 million, you have to split with 3 major languages. So it's very hard for you to grow a big company in Malaysia. Like if you look at Grab, right, they have to go Southeast Asia, they go regional. But if you look at the Web3 industry, we have massive unicorn company in Malaysia, right? You have obviously, you have the Virtuals Boys, you have CoinGecko, you have Eloscan, even Jupiter, right? It's mostly Malaysian. So to me, as a Malaysian entrepreneur, this is like the best thing ever, right? You don't have to serve just Malaysia right now. You can build something on chain, and on that chain can be borderless. And essentially, if you are getting the TAM of the whole crypto industry, right? Well, depending on which chain that you choose, right? So obviously now, Abstract is one of the best spender chain. So I guess, this is really the promise of crypto, and the way you build community definitely changes. Again, it really depends on what you're building. Like for example, if you're building a game or something that's consumer facing, Abstract could be the best chain at the moment, because as Gabby would testify, Lowland is have hit product market fit there, generating a lot of revenue,
and from players around the world. Yeah, not just in Asia.
Not just in Asia, right? I think US, Vietnam, and other countries as well. So yeah, I think this is super exciting, because I think crypto is fun again, right? I think the last 2, 3, 4 years, it seems that we are in a speculative bubble. People just speculate and gamble. But I think now things are coming back to the fundamentals, which I think pretty cool.
Yeah, on the softer touch is I know like Fee loves pickleball. So from that side on the softer touch is that a lot of people stick with community. If let's say if you think about, imagine you're Web2, right? For you to go to Singapore, go to Malaysia, go to Vietnam, go to US to play pickleball, first you have to know the community, which is very difficult. Second, you don't know where is the best court. So for a lot of NFT holders, like Pudgy holders, all they have to do is say, hey, I'm coming to Malaysia next week. And we have we give them the best community for pickleballs, the best pickleballs, we know the best court, we can get the court, which is very difficult to get court nowadays. You can't just hop in. So yeah, actually there are people I know.
Rarity.
It is. You have to book in 2 weeks in advance or a week in advance, and then they want to travel to Japan to try the pickleball court, and then they want to try. They fly to Korea and to meet the top ones to play for that. So yes, the borderless, in Web2 it will take you there maybe another 2-3 years, but in this world we're oh, I'm coming to NYC, I'm coming to it, and you have a group of friends that play with you in every country and the best court. So for me, that's
We should probably give a shout out, by the way. I think Fee's been mentioned a couple of times. He's in our live studio audience today, and if anyone's coming to the YGG Play Summit in November,
we're gonna have YGG Esports versus Pengu Asia pickleball competition.
look up Fee. He heads up business development for YGG Pilipinas, and he is your pickleball fiend. And thanks to our live studio audience today, by the way. This has been great. Same topic, different track. On the idea of borderless communications, I want to talk about memes. You guys are the kings of memes. How do you see hyperlocal communities using memes, particularly within the Pengu Asia community, to both tell stories and preserve their local culture, but also connect with a global audience? Because I think memes are a universal language, right? It doesn't matter what language you speak, what culture you are, what religion you come from. Memes seem to have this really fundamental human connection that anyone can connect with. So I'm just interested to know about that difference between hyperlocal versus global connect and what you've seen, in your own community.
I think we are living in a social world, right? Depending where you stay, you'll use different app to communicate, to message, to text message. In Korea, probably Kakao is your #1 chat app. Maybe if you're India or Malaysia, WhatsApp is the big one here. If you're in Web3, Telegram is the to-go app. So I think among all this chat app, consists of, to me, that is borderless communication. That's not even Web3, right? This is the Web2 way of borderless communication, sits in WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook Messenger, Kakao, Line. And I think the Pudgy team did a really good job in spreading those memes, right? At the global level, English language. However, a big part of what we are doing, Cheryl and I have been doing in APAC, is to, like what you said, right? How do we design memes that it's much more locally aware?
Yeah.
So what is funny in the West is not as funny in Korea, for example.
Yeah.
Right? So even both of us are not Koreans, right? Like, so we have to depend on our Korean council. Say, hey, what's trendy right now? Can we get a Kakao sticker pack up, next week? But help us brainstorm, right? Then our team will help design it, and the local community will give us insights, and then we just publish it, right? And then you see the numbers keep racking in. So I think this is I don't know, like a lot of Web3 companies are copying this right now. Like since Luca did it 2 years ago, now everyone have a GIF strategy, a meme strategy.
Yeah,
So-
right?
so-
You guys started that.
Exactly. And those, not like, when I say that we are averaging 1 billion views per day, half of that, like 50% of that is from memes,
Wow.
right? Stickers and GIF, like 500 million every single day, right? And this is proliferated through all these chat messages. So,
It's really interesting what you say though. Like, do you think that the ones that are created as like a Korean joke, because the IP is just so cute and everyone loves it, you probably see like Westerners who don't get the joke still use the GIF. It's a little bit like, a Disney movie or something. You watch it when you're a kid and then you watch it with an adult and you realize there's all these like adult jokes later and you're like, I didn't get that the first time. Like,
I know, like a brain rot. What we do really good is like tung 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 sahur.
Italian brain rot.
Italian sahur, yeah. So that's an Italian brain rot. We
Yeah.
call tung 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 sahur. Have you heard of that before? Ah, okay.
Okay.
so I'm clearly outside the joke. I'm
No,
one of those
no,
people.
No, if you have like nephew and nieces, you will know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we also learn it from them. Yeah.
So we have to like constantly learn from the younger, like the Gen Z, and what is like the trendy right now. So apparently Italian brain rot, like tung tung sahur, is popular. So we do that, and then that's a Chinese brain rot too. So we really quickly we adapt into it. So, but my part also is the culture part. I do a lot of trendy things, so I know like what is really popular in Korea, what's popular in China, and we deploy more resources. And we have this Jiffy team that we do 24/7. So a good example was the CEO astronomer, the Kiss Camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure everyone know about that.
So how quickly were you able to jump on that?
Within like 2-3 hours.
Wow.
Amazing.
I do want to raise this point, right? Sometimes even in 10 minutes, this GIF pops
Yeah.
up, and
Maybe 10
it's not because of Cheryl and Aaron or the Igloo team. It's because of the community, right? So I think this is really a perfect example that in the past you want to create entertainment IP, the Hollywood studio will be the one producing the content. Maybe you have to wait until Monday for the content to be out. But in our world, right, it could come out in 5 minutes because someone, a holder, saw the trend, could go to Canva, create the design and upload it, right? So I think this is really the uniqueness of something like Pudgy Penguins is that in the past, an IP was born from the studio. Right now, the IP is born from the internet out of this UGC content. And I just want to go a bit more technical about this because, like we talk about memes, there's a lot of technical optimization coming out. Like we actually index all these stickers and GIF through keywords in Giphy and Tanner. So whenever you search a keyword, it pops out, right? It's almost like SEO or GEO, but in meme. So a lot of effort is been doing like keyword research and doing stuff like that. Because for us, our stance is that would WhatsApp still exist 10 more years, right? I think it's more likely yes than no, right? I think people will still communicate through text. So as long as we can index all these memes on the internet, it will be there evergreen, right? Means 20 years later, these memes could still generate numbers and metrics and views. So now all these traditional IP companies like Disney or even Marvel, they are behind us in this, right? Because they didn't start from the internet, they started traditionally. So I think this is where we have an edge that we keep producing all this meme and the huge volume. Like every single week, we have like just the company alone, we produce like 200 GIF every single week. But the community will produce more than us, right? So in totality, you get a huge volume of memes, generating mindshare and proliferation at scale, even automatically, even without our involvement. So this is really the power of the huddle here.
How do you instill values amongst the community? Like when they're creating this content, it seems like it's very clear amongst the community what's okay and what's not okay, what's on brand and what's not on brand. That's really hard for most companies. Like, how do you think you've been successful at that?
So we publish our brand Bible online. So everyone can go to our website and download the brand Bible. So you can see all the to-dos and the don't-dos. And, you know, but obviously there are always back actors, right? There's always people who, to me, it's just like if you're a McDonald's, if someone infringe McDonald's when they are small, you don't really care. Only you care when they are really big and getting market share from you. I think this is the similar situation here. But for us, any content is great because we do have a lot of like brainrot content, like what Cheryl said, that doesn't look like Pudgy, but you know it's Pudgy, right? Distorted version of penguins, but that is for the fun, right? I think I just want to add on give more context what Cheryl said just now. The Italian brainwalk is a specific meme for the 14 to 18 years old kid in TikTok, right? Which is why a lot of us don't know about it because that is what this.
I feel better now.
Yeah, cool, right? Yeah. A lot of teenagers, like if you ask teens, they know this meme, and this meme was there even before Pudgy. But our team is really good at this, finding out stuff like that, and then we just insert Pengu in it. Right? So if you go to TikTok, you search all this brain rot, you might see Pengu appearing there because this is like a deliberate effort from our team to insert ourselves in those memes and let the meme take care by itself.
That's so smart. Abstract is doing a lot in the space of consumer crypto. Really, I think getting behind that belief that this is what's going to bring the next billion on chain. And games is really front and center on that, like super front and center. And also Pudgy has done a lot of collabs already, like Vibes TCG going off in the Philippines. We love it. Pudgy Party, obviously Pengu Wonderland in Lowland. Crypto, as we've already talked about, is fundamentally community-based. So are games. So what is it about games, do you think, that is so essential for protocols and IP that is looking to build and deepen and strengthen community?
Yeah, the tagline of YGG is "Together we play," and I think those 3 words together actually describe what we like to do together. Like we do it as a community, not just as an individual, and we do these actions for fun, for growth. Obviously, the financial aspect also matters. So yeah, those things really matter. So I don't think it's all about just how much money I make or what's the APR. Like you don't want to reduce things to just simple like DeFi math. So having the culture matters, having that togetherness matters, and like just that sense of belonging, of doing these things where I can grow as a person, I can grow financially, I can win with my friends. Yeah, I think those are super powerful, and I think they exemplify both what YGG and what Pengu Asia are about. Am I correct?
Yeah. I mean, personally, I'm super bullish on gaming in general, but specifically gaming with humans. Because we are living in this AI, because we are living in an AI robotic world where everything is automated and everything is AI. I think humans crave the feeling to game with another human. Obviously, it's not fun to game with an AI because we always lose. So I think as long that it seems that we're living in a world where ChatGPT getting smarter every second. So that really gives more value to the human and human connection, right? Whether it's art or gaming, and as long that again, if you're a company or a business that's growing through community, to me that's bullish, right? Because every business that involving human experiences in the future will be one of the. This is going to be a sector. This is going to be a whole category on its own. So I'm really bullish on this. Yeah.
And Cheryl, what do you think? Because you've talked a lot about games. I want to come and play pickleball with you. But like, how do video games fit into that strategy for you, like beyond the alpha?
Yeah, so I felt like most of us have phones, right? So mobile games would be, that's why we do like a Pudgy Pay party, like soon, coming out 29th of August. So we felt like that's the next revolutionary that, if we bring Pudgy to onboard much more, like more billions into the game. Candy Crush is number game for all time. So if you really think about it, when you look deep into it, there's uncles and aunties out there evangelizing Candy Crush for so many years. They stand on number one.
Yeah.
So like with this such a cute IP, it's such a very relatable, very easy to digest. And also we did a did a did you come to Malaysia during Malaysian Blockchain Week? We did a penguin tour, a tower.
I didn't come for that. I came for the launch party of
Okay,
LOL Land,
yeah.
but I did see the pictures. It
Did
looked
see the pictures?
incredible. Yeah.
So we felt like this IP is very marketable, scalable, because like one of them is if you put an ape or another thing, and because like they're not IP friendly or not market friendly, they won't be able to be on the tower. So they won't be on the retail shelves. Yeah, because it's like that they're kind of like, you know, scary. They kind of, so for in our business time of view or IP, it was like, oh, this IP is not really scalable. And penguin is a very special character, because if it's dog, so maybe some of the Muslims or the Islamics won't be able to have it, right?
So true.
And then the cats, you know, some of the religions, or even the pig. I remember when one of my friends that worked in Disney, he was the one who made Moana, that Disney movie, and they have to take out the pig, or they can't put more of the emphasis on the pig because they are releasing in Indonesia. So penguin is genderless, is neutral, and by default, every baby is like the top 3 or top 5 animals that they're born with it. They have this tendency of liking it. So everyone's, fun fact. So I was like, oh, this is really scalable, right? So when you go to children or baby store, you will see like this few: polar bears, foxes, penguins, and I think one more. So penguins is top 3. So everyone have that, you know, kind of like I love penguins somehow in their DNA that's like born with it. So it's very scalable. So in that sense, yes.
Penguins, the universally inclusive animal. Who would have known?
So I mean, Pudgy Penguins is the internet's Mickey Mouse. That's what we are. The company behind Pudgy, it's the internet's Disney, right? And obviously, Abstract is really Disneyland. So, and when you think about Disneyland, it's really not about money, right? It's about fun, right? You go there to have fun, to have family time, and that's what we are championing here in Pudgy and Igloo. Is that how can we bring fun back to crypto? And I think when people play Candy Crush, it's really the feeling of fun and just to fulfill some void in them as well. So I think this is an emotional side of Pudgy that we always optimize for. It's never about financial incentive that much. It's really how do we make another human resonate with our brand and our IP.
And we win together. We do a lot of sports events. I really like yoga or, you know, sports events, because for somehow in that 4 or 5 minutes when you go through the challenges, you know, you can't survive, or Pilates, you can't do it, but in the end you manage to survive, and the whole group in the whole team for that 1 hour, we win together, we survive together, we win together. That bond is so much stronger than anyone else.
Optimize for bond.
Yes.
Optimize for bond. We survive together, we win together. As this has been such an incredible conversation, like so many learnings. I think the biggest thing for me was beyond the alpha. And I'm so grateful to see that your belief in that strategy has really worked out. I mean, this community is so strong, and it really does demonstrate that there is space in this crypto world to have financial incentives, but also value in different ways, not just short selling and flipping and, you know, leaving a community as soon as like incentives dry up. There's got to be something else there, and you can see why you guys are working together, because this is clearly the philosophy of all of you. But this has just been such a great conversation. I want to thank you all, and thanks for my emotional support, Penguin, because it's like I don't even feel nervous at all. Yeah, this has been great. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.